Midseason Showdown is a huge Minecraft speedrunning tournament, and it's insanely difficult because the MCSR Ranked team will invite every player with 15 or more phase points to participate. This means that I am eligible, and so are some of the best players to ever touch this game. Am I able to win? Let's find out. This first seed was a Ruin Portal seed. I know that Ruin Portal seeds can get very fast. For example, the last Midseason Showdown I played in, Hackingnoises got a sub 7 time, which is absolutely absurd, especially considering it's in a tournament. Now, from this Ruin Portal, I already knew that I had a gold pick, enough iron for an iron pick, a flint and steel, and there was a gold block at the Ruin Portal for a gold axe. Now, I opted to get the gold block over stone because it's simply just faster for mining wood and getting a lot of it, as well as there's iron in the bastion to craft a better axe for killing the blazes. So I saw this as a very little drawback play. The only reason that I wouldn't be making this play is if I needed the 3 extra gold somewhere, which is a risk I'm willing to take for the time save of the gold axe. After this I got some food. I think I opted to kill 1 sheep and 3 pigs, which I felt like was pretty decent of me to do. And I'm entering at around the 120 mark, less than 10 seconds after the first person entered the nether, so it is making me feel good about this run already. And right away, I can see the bastion, and it is a double triple stables variant, as I will see up here. Now, I didn't initially see the fortress, so that is something I will need to pyrate for later. Now, the double triple route is risky, not in the sense that it's dangerous, but in the sense that sometimes it just doesn't give you enough resources. But nevertheless, I'm going for it anyways, simply because it's pretty fast, and if it does give you resources, that's a big up. And playing a route such as good gap or triple to gap is a play that can lose you the game in Midseason Showdown. So I'm just sending the double triple route right now and hoping that it just ends up working out for me. If not, I'd probably take the piglins down to the gap or get the gold and bring it up. But as of now, I'm facing a different problem. The spawner of the nether fortress is within 2 chunks. Now, normally this is great, having it be so close, but this is actually bad in this case because it means the spawner is anywhere within 6 chunks of where I am right now. And considering I haven't seen it yet, there's a good chance that it may be buried or something. So unless I have a good idea where it is, I will need to look for the fortress at some point, and I still haven't seen it yet. But luckily, I do end up getting enough obsidian, 21 here, more than enough, as well as iron for an axe, and I believe I do not have string for a pre-crafted bed, so I do not end up doing that. But I'm down here to check my trades and go to the fortress, and some people making it to the fort already at the 3-minute mark, which just again goes to show how fast these Ruin Portal seeds can be, indicates to me that the fortress is probably pretty close. So I think where I end up checking is behind the bastion, because I know that that's a quadrant that the fortress can be. And yeah, the spawner just ends up being right there, so I'm able to drink my 1 fire res, which is something else that's important to note. I only got 1 fire res and 6 explosives from trades, and I'm going to use one of them to blaze bed just because it will make my fort split so much faster. Now, 1 fire res does make, assuming you drink it before the blaze fight, because I know someone does end up getting, not today, thank you, meaning that they crafted a shield, but 1 fire res, you usually want to have at least 2, 1 for the blaze split and 1 for the post blind, and considering I drink the fire res, I'm just hoping that there's not a bunch of lava or fire near cord so I don't take any extra damage. Now onto the explosives. 5 explosives is pretty much the bare minimum for a 0 cycle, unless if you're very skilled and can do it in 4. But it is just like something that's just less than ideal, considering it's pretty easy to mess up. But luckily, there's this patch of glowstone right next to the spawner, which I believe I do end up mining. The distance from measuring the eye was about 1.3k, and considering my fire res might be about to run out soon, I want to get there as quickly as I can. Now, at first I think about going through the fort, but I end up seeing this up terrain to the side and decide to just launch a pearl above. Very luckily it hits here. I did not want to take all that damage, and as I'm going towards where Bad Gamer gets, I spy. Now, I do not want to throw blind pearls considering I don't have fire res anymore, and I'm pretty close to quartz, so I'm thinking I'll just bite the bullet and dig down 40 blocks. I'll have to dig very carefully considering I don't have fire res and I don't want to fall into lava or dig into a 1x1 lava source, so that's something I will just have to accept. And here is where probably one of the worst case scenarios that could happen does happen. I missed the stronghold, which is actually really bad. And at first I thought it was because my second portal was a little bit too high and the stronghold's a bit too low, and that forced me onto the surface. But I soon come to realize that the stronghold is not here, and I straight up mismeasured. Looking back on my measuring split, I just have no idea what went wrong, because I'm pretty sure I just didn't have any desync. So it must have been a 0% offset, because I had a 100% certainty on this one, which is very unfortunate, but I'd have to lock into the next seed, because if I don't get a completion by seed 3, I will be eliminated from Midseason Showdown. This next seed is a shipwreck seed, which are usually a little bit slower than BTs, but can be fast nonetheless. Some shipwrecks can be very, very not great, but this one ends up being pretty good as 13 iron and a bunch of carrots are nothing to turn your head at, considering the carrots can be made into golden carrots, which is one of the best food sources in the game, and I have 2 extra iron to make shears, which is really, really nice for getting extra blocks. Now, I see these 2 closest trees. I know that these are the ones that I'm going to mine before entering the nether. And yeah, I'm able to craft up everything I need and make my way to the ravine. One of the things that sucks about ocean seeds is how oftentimes you can just go in the wrong direction and not be able to find the enter. Here I get pretty fortunate as I end up seeing this kelp above this ravine, which ends up being a real enter. Which luckily for me, I'm able to grind gravel in the portal and be able to enter around the 220 mark. The entity spike that I got from the bastion is behind this giant wall of terrain that I'm really not a fan of because I don't want to dig. I do end up seeing this ravine here, and I'm hoping it just opens up near the top, so I start stacking up. This crossbow pig tries to kill me, almost succeeds. I almost got hit off into that ravine where another piglin would have been, so that there's a very high chance that that would have just killed me, which would have been really bad because that would pretty much mean I just guaranteed lose the seed. But this terrain does open up, which I am very happy about my decision. I didn't know if there was anywhere else where it opened up, or if everyone took this terrain. But the bastion is right here. I'm able to boat down to this lower terrain, and I decide I'm going to go for the top-down play. There is the manhunt route, which is generally faster but less consistent, and ooh, I failed that jump there. That's pretty embarrassing. The top-down route is more consistent. There's oftentimes a lot of golden chests, which can be used for more trades, and you're getting them first, making it a more linear bastion route. I do end up taking 2 hits from the piglin and fall damage there, getting me down to 4 hearts, which I'm really not a fan of. Luckily, I'm able to go into this cubbyhole, narrowly avoiding that sword pig, which, if that guy would have hit me, it probably just would have been over for me. But luckily, I do have distraction gold and am able to check the chest on the left rampart. I'm able to go to the right rampart, check the chest, get pretty much all the obsidian I'll need. That's already 20, and I'm able to start the route, which is really nice. Now, I do end up trying to get a bunch of random blocks in my inventory, which For some reason, I just have an aversion to using my wood, even though there's just a high chance I won't be using all of it. I end up taking half a heart of fall damage to there just because I'm nervous and I don't want the pigs to hit me, which no reason for me to take that at all. And I decide to use the magma block as a platform, which is very stupid of me. There's no reason why I should be alive right now, especially with the crossbow pigs trying to shoot up at me and hitting the leaf block. But luckily I'm able to get to like 2 hearts with the rotten flesh, which is like probably good enough for this route. But this Bastion route is a train wreck, and especially because I need to wait to craft my carrots into golden carrots, I'm going to be healing up very, very slowly. So I lost a ton of time to this Bastion route. For that horrid Bastion route, I'm finally able to craft my golden carrots, which will be my food source for the rest of the run. Finally something good after eating flesh for pretty much the majority. See, luckily I know where the door is, and I'm able to pearl there. And overlap eating while pearling, which is just a nice free time save to have. Now, a play I end up deciding to make is pearl hanging to the spawner while going for the blazes, just so I can instantly teleport to the spawner. Nice little optimization. I think this ends up being worth it just because the first blaze does end up dropping, and I'm able to craft a blaze bed to just get my blaze bed sooner after reaching the spawner, which is nice just in case if there's a second fast spawn, you always want to blaze bed the spawner pretty much as soon as possible. It's the general rule, and I'm able to punch out all the fire and build out with soul sand from the spawner to get more spawns. The rest of the fort is pretty linear. I was able to get all my rods, and my last one right here, and go to measure my eye. I lost a lot of time in the Bastion, so I'm hoping that I can make some up in the game. And I end up getting caved, which you really don't want to see, but it's not too bad as I'm able to quickly dig up and measure my eye. As I'm entering the stronghold, more and more people are finishing the run, which is really bad for me. Only 24 people can finish each seed, and if people are still completing the seed, it will just take more and more spots from me, meaning I'll get less and less points depending on when I finish. And considering how many people are already in the end, the odds that I will be able to finish the seed at all are already not good, and decrease with each new person that finishes. I know that I'll have to hit a fast 0 cycle, so I prep my hotbar while pearling, for my last pearl, try to load my crossbow, and because of that, I am not able to block clutch instantly, almost die, and I have to bail from the 0. Not that it matters though, because just in 20 seconds, a good 15 people finish the seed, and that just makes it so I'm not able to complete it. I wouldn't have had enough time even if I did hit the 0, which is very sad, but I know that I will need to lock in for the last seed if I want a chance at staying in the tournament. The third seed ended up being a desert village, and I knew that if there was a toolsmith, I'd have a decent shot at it. But I already saw the blacksmith, so I'm just beelining it, getting there as quickly as I can. I'm grabbing a lot of sticks because I know that there's some cases, especially if there's a crafting table house, where having the sticks is really, really good to be able to craft an iron pickaxe or more tools, which that is the case. I'm able to use the crafting table house to get an iron pick and stone, but I do not have enough sticks for a stone axe, so I think what I opt to do is grabbing the crafting table and grabbing more sticks because the wood is pretty far away. I don't want to have to backtrack because that is pretty slow. So I'm hoping that I will find some more sticks on the way to the golem and be able to use that to craft a stone axe to be able to kill it. Luckily, I'm able to get my stone axe crafted and start killing the golem. Now, I do end up seeing the second blacksmith after the fact, but I'm already killing the golem, and I do have my iron pick crafted, so there's a chance it can have nothing in it, but I'm still going to end up checking it now after killing the golem. which if I saw this before I end up killing the golem, it would have saved me 30 seconds due to the fact that there was an iron pickaxe in there. Now, I do end up mining the gravel for getting a shovel because I just want to craft everything all at once, and that includes my bread and my boat. I don't want to have to break my crafting table and place it again to get everything in one cycle. Now, I'm able to barely save my portal from not flooding, which I'm very happy about. If my portal flooded, I would just not be having a great time. And I'm able to enter around, I believe, the 3:10 mark, something like that, which is not great. Definitely do want that to be faster, but I still have a shot at winning. And there is an instant spike with this bastion. And now I believe I decide to do the manhunt route, which is faster, but I do have distraction gold, so I do believe that I'm able to do this route effectively. I end up breaking the chest. Now what I should be doing is punching a pig to upgrade piglin aggro, because if there's pigs that are mad at you before, they might stop getting mad at you. I throw the first distraction gold, which is good, but I threw the second distraction gold, which is bad, because now I have nothing in my hotbar for the sword guy, who ends up killing me. Now, this is pretty bad. I do believe that it's recoverable. I am just messing around in the overworld a bit. I do end up deciding to go and get some wood, but that was just something that was very, very sad. Just dying to the pig like that was something that could have just easily been avoided if I was a little bit smarter, and it just might have cost me my entire tournament. But I still decide to run back just in case my stuff is savable. It's ranked, anything can happen, and I know that there's a chance that I can still win. I'm able to get my stuff back, but as I go down into the bottom corner, a sword pig kills me again. Now, this really bummed me out, and I realized that it's probably just over. There's so many people who are in the fortress and have even blinded already, which pretty much means that it's impossible for me to catch up. I do end up dying a third time, and it's at this point where I decide, yeah, it's impossible for me to win. No matter what I do, it's out of my hands. It's over. And this seed ends up being a seed where there's 1 minute of leeway between the first completion and the last completion, meaning that it was over from the first time I died, and there was nothing I could have done. Now, this is actually really disappointing. I was really hoping that I could do better in this tournament, but I still ended up not being able to finish a single seed. Luckily for me, playoffs is in around a month, so I'm hoping that I will be able to do better there than I did here.